both sides in the fight to secure our democracy claim to be its standard bearers suggests that we need clarity on what precisely we mean by democracy. So with that context in mind, let me turn to the panelists and ask what, to you, are the essential features of American democracy? In other words, what is it that needs securing?
Our legitimacy and authority. It's a little strange to even say that because people like the three of us have always accepted the legitimacy of the American government. But unless you have that, unless you believe that it's there, that it exists, that it works, it's kind of hard to do anything else. The other thing I think is authority. You have to recognize that the government is there to basically run our affairs. And we have to accept that there's an authority there to do that. I think today we're lacking in that. There's just too many people that don't accept the legitimacy of government, and they don't accept the fact that government exercises authority either. So we got a steep hill to climb, I think, before we get anywhere else. Okay.
First and foremost to me is the rule of law. John Adams, one of our founders, when he was helping to craft the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, used a phrase that I think we've all heard before, that this is to be a government of laws and not of men. And that proposition is being tested very strongly these days and has been in the past 5 years. But first and foremost, what distinguishes our democracy is the rule of law. But in addition to that, I want to say individual rights as enshrined in the Bill of Rights. The notion, the philosophy of equality before the law. No person should fear going in front of the justice system, nor should be favored by the justice system. That all citizens are to be able to approach the justice system with the expectation that they will be treated equal before the law. Also unique in our system is the separation of powers, and I think that, maybe more so than anything, defines this country not so much as a pure democracy. We are not a direct democracy. As you know, I would actually call it a representative democracy.
But the separation of powers just between the executive and the legislative and judicial branches of government has been somewhat twisted. I've argued in many respects that we no longer have a separation of powers in this country, but a separation of parties. That there used to be a certain amount of pride, institutional pride in your body. You remember in Congress for certain things that were not partisan. The executive is overreached, therefore the legislative branch have to assert our authority. That's not a partisan thing. But that's changed a lot. Basically, I found that each party tends to do the bidding of the president, that the president is of the party. And I think that has been a big change. And we can also maybe get more into political parties and their roles, as you mentioned, how they have changed, being broader coalitions at one time to now these ideologically conforming entities. And we can talk about how that has also created challenges in the system.